Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back once again, troops, legionnaires, and new recruits, and I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. All right, troops, today we've got the GTKii GTK7 drop point in DC53 tool steel. I'm excited to try this one out and show everybody. Let's get to it. What's everybody carrying today? Well, finally, in Florida here, I can carry my ProTech Godfather Mini in 154 cm steel. What are you all carrying? Veterans, active military, as always, just want to say thank you very much for your service, and I hope you enjoy the video. Quick specs, let's run through. Once again, this is the GTKii GTK7 drop point in DC53 steel. Overall length 12.4 inch, blade length 6.5 inch, blade thickness 6 millimeters. Blade material DC53 tool steel. Blade hardness 59 to 61 HRC. Blade width 1.8 inch. Blade grind high Saber. Blade type drop point. Handle length 5.9 inch. Handle thickness 0.71 inch. Handle material nylon fiberglass. Weight 15.9 ounce. And with the sheath, it's 22.7 ounce. Let's do a close-up. Here we go, troops. Awesome high Saber grind. It is nice and flat. It is pretty sharp. Now, I did have to run it a couple of times on my work sharp ceramic rod, just because the edge was kind of a little rough, and now it is pretty sharp. So we'll see how it performs now. Awesome handle right here. It is a fiberglass handle. It almost looks like it was printed from a printer. Doesn't matter to me, man. It feels good. It feels comfortable no matter how you hold it. The scales are removable, which is good. So I think it would make a pretty nice outdoor survival knife. It does have a nice size sharpening choil. It will also be a finger choil, which is good. I added this lanyard. It has a bit of a protruding tang over here, and it does have a couple of holes for a lanyard. A pretty nice knife, no doubt, no doubt. And the best part, it's DC53 tool steel, and they say it right on the blade, which is good news, because I had a similar blade with a different, it's same knife, different brand, and that one was 5CR. I never tested that one out, so I'm kind of glad that GTKii sent me this. So we are going to test this sucker out. Now let's take a look at the sheath over here. It's a nice high quality Kydex sheath. It is a pancake style, rivet holes, slots, if you needed to put some kind of third party pouch. There is a clip over here, a metal clip. I don't know if a lot of people are going to like this. However, this can come off. Okay, not only is it ambidextrous, but this will come off, and you could put a third-party dangler system on here. However, it's still a pretty nice sheath for the price. Let me just pop this knife in. There we go, man. This is great. Let's see how the retention is on this. Well, this particular knife, the retention is good, and it's quiet. So it's a nice little setup right here. Let's get to work. Okay, I have a pretty decent sized log right over here. I did use this in another test, okay, but I just want to show everybody. So it's a decent size. Now this is a channel that tests out knives. Please don't forget that, okay, for anybody who's tuning in and those who are new. And one of the ways I test out knives is to chop. Does the edge roll? Does it chip? Does it bend? So let's get started. I think this is a really good piece right here. It's pretty hard, and it'll be a great test for this knife, which I'm very excited to test out. So I did add this lanyard, and I don't think I'm going to need it, but I'm always on the caution of safety, for myself. Let's see what it can do. Right now I'm just making my way around the wood. Now the handle is kind of comfortable, but I gotta tell you, I'm feeling a little bit of a hot spot right here on my pinky. I might have to put on some gloves. You know what, let me try tightening up the lanyard a bit, see how that works out for me. You know, it's a pretty nice mid-sized knife. We can see that's looking good. It's a nice hard piece of wood, and it's starting to really dig in. I'm still getting, even though I have the lanyard a little tightened up, still getting a little bit of a hot spot on the pinky. I think I'm gonna be putting on my gloves in a minute or two, but I'm gonna keep on going for now. Well, the chopping ability so far is pretty positive, okay? That's still looking pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's front heavy, you know, so I'm getting the definite momentum. Again, it's just this little area over here that's hurting just a bit. Again, for those native to Florida, if you know what this wood is, the name of this wood, I would appreciate you letting me know, because this is some really good stuff, man. Real nice, it's digging in. Once again, let's take a look. We're looking good here. Definitely a chopper, you know, so if you need to do just some slight chopping, again, this is a test, but if you need to do some slight chopping out there in the field, well, you know this knife can do it so far. So let's take a look at my pinky. Okay, so now, I guess I got a little bit of a blister. So there is definitely a hot spot. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on this. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on this, put some gloves on because it's not worth me being in pain. So hold on. All right, troop, got my glove. Let's keep going. I'm letting the blade do the work. I'm not gonna pound on this. I'm sure most of you aren't gonna be chopping through something this big, but again, this is a channel that tests out knives. So that's why I'm doing something this large. I wanna see how much extended use, you know, will keep this blade going or if it'll break. Okay, definitely a nice, tough piece of wood. You can see some of these pieces are seriously solid, man. It's doing a job, great job, and DC53 tool steel, baby. Doing awesome. Let's keep going until it's done. There we go. Nice, man. Real nice. Took the glove off, got my Band-Aid. Just gonna do a little bit of vertical batoning and make some smaller pieces, let's say for a firebox stove or a small fire. Okay, very good. Whoops. Pick that up in a second. Nice. So far, so good. Use the front part of the blade over here. Just splitting wood like no tomorrow. Wish I had a fire pit. I could light up a fire over here. But unfortunately, the HOA won't allow that to happen. So I'm very curious to see how this wood would burn, you know? But it's definitely a hard wood. So let's see. Actually, I have this piece right here. Let's see how this works out. Nice. I'm pretty sure that this stuff is the same stuff as this. It's just a branch. You could see everywhere that I've been hitting with the blade. Okay, I'm just doing it lightly now. We're looking good, man. You know, I'm going to process these down a little bit further, and then I'm going to continue. So far, so good. This is the processed wood. If you have a firebox stove, you just want a small fire to make a cup of coffee. Knife did a phenomenal job. We're going to do some horizontal batoning with this piece right here, and tip test maybe, and maybe some cross batoning too. So let's try it out. Now, for those that are new to this channel, you're probably saying, how come he's not using an axe or a saw? Well, look, first and foremost, it's a channel that tests out knives, okay? So I received this from GTKii to test out, and I want to see, you know, what a budget blade can do. I do own a saw and an axe. In fact, I did use the saw to cut this, okay? My good old Silky, good saw. So I do use other tools here, but again, it's a channel that tests out knives. So now, something I haven't done for a while, I'm going to, you know, do some batoning here. Just a small piece, and then I'll do some horizontal batoning, but I want to do this first. It's been a while. Okay, that's nice and deep. Make sure I can get it out safely without getting hurt. Okay, and you can see that's nice and straight, and that's a nice deep cut, including through that knot right there. So let's make a little wedge. That's in there, nice. And you can see I'm hitting that fiberglass handle, and so far so good. So kind of do like that. Now I know most of you would chop through this, okay? If it was like a, you know, a small branch, you would chop, but again, I think I proved it with that first log. Now I just want to try some other testing. Okay, you definitely see that I'm hitting that handle. So far, so good, you know? You know what's also awesome? The handle's not coming loose. Not that I'm saying that it won't, but so far, so good. And that knife is still pretty sharp. Okay, you can see those nice wedges right there. We're just gonna go all the way through. I'll use different parts of the blade, but again, so far so good, man. The edge is looking really good. Let's see if I can go all the way through. How are we looking there? Okay, awesome. Hold on a second, troops. Well, I got this in the camera for you. There it is, man. Okay, awesome. Let's do a little bit of horizontal here. Utilizing the whole blade. Okay, not bad. Again, this is some weird wood, man. Every time I think that it's, you know, I'm gonna baton straight, it goes all kinds of crooked. So let's, I'm gonna use the smaller piece because I want to do a little bit of tip testing over here with this one. So all right, we got some thirds here. Maybe I could process this just a little bit further. All right, very good. You know what, I'll just do one more piece. Why not? It also has a protruding tank, so you could hit that tang and then, you know, use, for those who don't want a baton, you could do it this way to make your feather sticks. Okay, but at least you know that you have not only a good tip that won't bust, but you have a protruding tang that you could do some batoning into a piece of wood, right? You could also make, let me just put this down. You know, you could make individual curls with this, make a little small pile, and you could see after that abuse, it's making the curls here. I don't care if they're perfect or not. If you need to make a big pile of some wood shavings, you know, you have it here. Okay, good. So again, small demonstration, an example. I'll process these down nicer further to make feather sticks. So now what I want to do, okay, you know what, let me clean this up. I want to do some tip testing, okay? Okay, let's try a little cross batoning. Now I don't want to cut in the middle because I want to make sure that when I do the tip test, I have a nice large piece. So let's start from here. See what we got? We got a straight edge, baby. I don't know, for those of you who spend $300, $400, $500 on your knife, would you be able to do that? Huh? This is only a what, a $40 knife? Capable of doing that? And then making little curls? Awesome, let me just pick up that other piece and then we'll do some tip testing. I wound up cross batoning and pretty much massacring this piece without an issue. And I didn't realize that I didn't hit the play button. So anyway, I got myself another piece, totally separate piece, still the same type of wood. Let's try the tip over here. Okay, you can see I'm doing it right here in the center. And you can see it went right through and the tip is fine. See if I could do it again safely without getting hurt over here because this is kind of a gnarly piece of wood. You know what, let me put on some gloves because, you know, that's a little rough right here. Just this area, the rest of the handle is good. On one positive note about this handle, it's done well. You know, I mean, you could definitely get a good grip on it without it going to slip, you know, so. And just as you can see, it's through the wood. It's a hard piece of wood, man. It's through the wood, the tip. There's nothing wrong with that tip, right? Like some other companies, okay? Let's see if I could finish this off safely without getting hurt. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, let me do it a different way now. Again, the whole point is to show you that the tip is just doing fine. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. Okay, all the way through. No issue with the tip, and you could see the line, the mark of the wood. So pretty good with the tip. Let me just do a little cross batoning for everybody. I can't believe I forgot to hit that play button, but you know what? It happens. It happens. All right. All right. We're looking good over there with that edge. All right, man, let's move on. I think that was an excellent little test. Okay, feather sticks, some fat wood. All right, let's make some individual curls. So you saw how I beat on it, and the edge, still good. Now, I'm not saying that this is what you're gonna be doing in the woods. Do it, don't do it, doesn't matter to me. Again, you know, I always gotta reiterate, this is a channel that tests out knives, right? So many people have questions about these Chinese knives. And I've been doing this testing for a while now, representing these companies, and I gotta tell you, it's bang for buck, you know? So for those, you know, who can't afford the real deal or the expensive stuff, all right? Company like GTKii, they come out with a knife like this that you could use and be proud of. Plain and simple, man. You know, and depend your life on it. Okay, but you could see how nice this is making those individual curls, and you could make a big pile. You know, I always say this in my videos. If you're not good with feather sticks, you just make a big pile of this stuff right here. And you could probably, I don't know if this is that sharp, but I'm sure this will scrape a ferro rod. We're going to test it out in any case, but just a small demonstration that you can make a big pile of this stuff, you know. Put your wood here, however, light it up. You got yourself a small fire, right? Okay, so now let's see if I can make a nice little feather stick here for everybody. Oh, damn it. But you can see it's making some nice curls. Well, let me put that into individual curl pile, and let's try it again. Let me try another piece. Sorry guys, I gotta prove a point, you know, so I just want to make sure I get a proper piece here. You can see it's taking off that bark and then the membrane right underneath the bark, right? Damn it. Just a matter of getting used to the tool. But still, you know, you're still making a pile. If you want to do a combination of, I don't know, feather stick and wood shavings or whatever. Okay, today's a bad day for me for feather sticks. Don't give up, Grugs, don't give up. Okay, so you know, it still feels wicked sharp. So it's just a matter of getting used to the angle of this knife. Let me see. I know this is taking longer than usual, but, you know, I usually like to do it this way, you know? But it looks like this is working out okay. Not pretty, but I've gone long enough, and you could see there's a huge pile over here. It did the job. Telling you, troops, it's still sharp. Let me just, okay, you could see, this is the fat wood. And I am making very, very thin shavings here with the fat wood. Smells good. So, still sharp, troops, I'm telling you. I wouldn't lie to you. Okay, so I'm telling you, it is sharp, but I guess I'm just not used to the knife, you know, plain and simple. I'll probably shut off the camera and then I'll make all kinds of great looking feather sticks. You could see right here, now it's starting to, I got the right angle, and now I'm making nice little curls for the fat wood. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, I've gone long enough with trying to make feather sticks and individual curls. Let's go to the camp tasks. Okay, I got a whole bunch of materials here, maybe for camp, law enforcement, etc. Point is, I got some stuff I want to just test out with this blade. I have this. Let's start off with some of this paracord over here. Okay, let's see. Beautiful, okay? Little chop, did the job. All right, so let's move that over here. I got something a little bit thicker over here. Easy. Let's move that over. Oops. Then just slicing. Looking good. Okay? So we got that done. I have some thin rope. Let's do the thin rope over here. And you can see I'm choking up on that choil, right? That went through pretty good. Little chop. Beautiful. Thicker rope. Little chop. Once again, utilizing the choil right through. Beautiful. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're going to be testing out the spine in a second. So now I have, just get that out of the way, seatbelt material. This is nylon. Okay. That worked well. Now I have some plastic. Believe it or not, this is, now they're doing construction where I'm living. So there's a ton of resources all over the floor, and this was just flying around. So I grabbed it. This is like a plastic type of mesh, similar to this, except plastic. This is nylon, this is plastic. So I got a couple of plastic ties over here, right? All right, so I don't know if anybody uses this out in camping or something like that, but this is great stuff, you know? One more time. Okay, so that's plastic. And now I'm kind of curious to see this stuff. This is some tough stuff. So any new trees that they plant, they're tying down the trees because there's tornadoes here and obviously hurricanes, but they're tying down the trees and stuff, whatever this stuff is. And it's tough stuff. This is plastic. So I figure it's another great resource to try out. So let's see. Perfect. Okay, good. So the materials in the camping environment, whatever other environment would work. I want to try out now the spine. You know what? Let me just get rid of all this stuff and let's just concentrate on this. Give me a second. Okay, let's try out this spine. Got a nice little piece of wood. Let's see if it'll do some kind of scraping here. Yep, nice. Okay, that's good stuff, man. That's really nice. So the spine is good. Let's try it with the fat wood now. It's a little bit rounded off. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Good stuff. Now, I'm not going to start a fire in my garage. So let's test out this ferro rod now. Just make sure that spine is clean. Oh, nice. There we go. Look at that. Awesome, troops. I think this is a $40 knife. It's got a coupon code. You can't go wrong, man. This is a damn fine blade for the money. Damn good steel for the money. I hope you enjoy this, man. Let's conclude. There you have it, troops. A complete and total annihilation. This knife kicks some ass. The only issue I had is just a slight hot spot right over there by that bird's beak. Maybe you wrap a little tape around your pinky or you wear some gloves. You'll be just fine. You'll be kicking some ass out in the field with this blade. Awesome, awesome bang for buck. Okay, I think it's 40 bucks on Amazon. Now look, guys, if you receive a knife from one of the vendors that I test, okay, and there's an issue with it, if there's a quality control issue with it, send it back, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're having issues with any of these knives that I have tested, you know, send it back. I appreciate that you're letting me know, but, you know, just to let everybody know, I don't make money off of these knives, okay? I just do deals with these companies. A knife, free knife for a video, and that's what I do. And that's about it, troops. So, you know, this knife did fantastic. Again, if you have an issue with the knife, you don't like it, it's not sharp, quality control didn't pass, you got scratches or whatever, send it back, get a replacement. All right, troops, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this knife. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military once they get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges, and unfortunately one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides at the end, okay? Call those phone numbers, surf those websites, seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, I know this was long. Hopefully you stayed till the end, and I really do appreciate it. At the ready, troops, hold the line. Take care.
Legionnaires!